We're here today with the TAG Heuer Connected Golf Edition, a product that was first added to the TAG Heuer lineup last year. And much like the TAG Heuer Connected Generation 3 that was released earlier this year, it comes from a new and updated template. We're going to be taking a much closer look at it today, and instead of myself as a non-golfer take it out, we've had a professional golf coach and psychologist take it out with him on the green and see how it stands up. Let's check it out. As a bit of background on this watch, this year we are seeing TAG Heuer double down in the luxury smartwatch space, releasing 2 new watches so far this year. The first was the TAG Heuer Connected Generation 3, which was an impressive meeting of the best of Silicon Valley tech and Swiss watchmaking. The one we're looking at today is the TAG Heuer Connected Golf Edition, a watch that shares a lot of the hardware and operating system updates that the regular edition got, but with a much greater focus on tools for improving your golf game. Taking a look at what is on offer from both the Golf Edition and regular edition, they both wear very nicely on the wrist at 45mm in diameter and relatively slim 13.5mm in thickness. Thanks to the gently tapered lugs that are reminiscent of the modern TAG Heuer Carrera collection, the watch follows the contours of your wrist and is secured with a pliable rubber strap that optimizes comfort. The Golf Edition features a titanium case, the same that is available in the regular edition of the watch, and is complete with a titanium folding clasp on the strap. The bezel of the watch is a sandblasted ceramic with 18 markings around it for the 18 holes on a golf course. The screen of the TAG Heuer Connected Golf Edition is an always-on 1.39-inch OLED touchscreen with a resolution of 454 pixels that offers a great level of detail to the graphics you're interacting with, and can also be used while wearing golf gloves, a very clever detail by TAG Heuer. Inside the TAG Heuer Connected Golf Edition is the Google-powered Wear OS that delivers a wide range of features that are functional from the beach to the boardroom. For your day-to-day use, the watch offers notifications for social media, email, phone and calendar, payments through Google Pay, Google Maps and GPS, and is compatible with any Android device or iPhone. When it comes to working out, the heart rate sensor has you covered both on and off the golf course, with an optical heart rate sensor, an accelerometer and a gyroscope, all of which are used to accurately measure your workout. So with all of that in mind, let's hear from golf coach and psychologist Jamie Glazier about his thoughts on the new TAG Heuer Connected Golf Edition and how it performs out on the green. Jamie Glazier, thanks for joining me this afternoon.
My pleasure.
I guess, just wanted to go through a few of the bits and pieces that you experienced with the TAG Heuer Golf Watch. But before we get into that, could you maybe tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, for sure. Look, I run a mental performance business called Dare to Dream. It's a sort of a sports psychology business that I've been running for nearly 20 years. And over the last 5 or 6 years, I've been specializing in the sport of golf. So, 95% of my clientele are golfers, and I work with a lot of elite amateur and professional golfers around the world. So, yeah, pretty lucky, I'd say.
So you took the golf watch out on the course today. Have you used golf watches or those sorts of things in the past before?
No, look, I haven't used any of these type of sort of smart watches. I actually did have TAG's very first golf watch years ago. And that was a really fantastic piece. It was specific to golfers, but I haven't ever worn or used a smart watch that's golf specific. So I was pretty interested to see the functionality of it and also ease of use, because I suppose, getting to know the piece the last couple of days, it's a fairly complex piece, but I was interested to really see its usability. So yeah, that was fun.
In terms of the first things that you noticed about the TAG Heuer Golf Edition, were there any specifics?
Oh, look, I think, first was just the unboxing of the piece and I suppose just seeing how beautifully boxed it was and how you got that golf feel straight away, just with, obviously the golf labeling on the box, but when you open it up and there's the little gift pack of golf balls and things like that, you really got a sense of they sort of know what they're doing. So, and again, when you pulled the watch out and you noticed that it had the the white band with the golf ball dimples on it, very similar to the very first golf watch that I had, the golf dimple dial. So it really was something that you could see that they've got that golf background and they know what they're doing. And so, yeah, I think that was my first impression, was just how nicely the watch was presented with that golf flavour to it as well.
Once you're kind of out there, what was the experience of using it on the green?
Yeah, look, I loaded that up today for the first time out on course, and firstly, I think it was only a matter of a minute of plugging in the course, your details, and then it had the map of the first hole up. So it was very, very like lifelike in regards to the bunkers and the distance, and everything was really spot on in that regard. And it moved with you. So if you went from hole to hole, the watch would actually move with you. You wouldn't have to manually go to the next hole. It would just, once you put your score in, it just knew you were on that second hole, and it sort of just gauged where you were at from a T marker point of view and gave you your distances. And it was really, really easy to use. So that was a pleasant surprise, because I thought if this was going to be a complex piece to use, as a golfer, you don't want that distraction out on the course. You want to just be able to play your golf, and ease of use is very important, and it worked a treat.
That's great. How did you kind of use it during the play?
The first 9 holes, I just tried to use it more as a GPS, getting my yardages and also tracking my score. But the thing I noticed, which was really cool, is there's a lot of statistical sort of data that you can keep on, how many putts per green, which is, really important for golfers to keep these sort of statistics on their play. If you hit a fairway, but the great thing I liked was if you missed a fairway, it gave you the option of putting in whether you missed it left or right. So at the end of the round, you get a statistic on what was the percentage of fairways that you hit, but also what percentage of the fairways did you miss to the left or did you miss to the right? And, for a golfer, that's really, really important data to be able to keep. And so first and foremost, that was how I used the actual watch to begin with. And then the shot tracking I used for the second 9, and that was fantastic. Just, again, you track from where you hit the ball from. Once you get to the ball for your next shot, you turn the tracking off. It gives you a distance, and then you apply what club you use to hit it to that distance. And for me, as a mental performance coach, that's a really valuable tool for my clients, because expectation management really is one of our sort of worst enemies, especially for guys. We think we hit the ball a lot further than we do. So, playing this morning in conditions that were cold and heavy, it helps us to really get clarity over how far is the ball traveling today in comparison to other days. And that was a really fantastic piece of technology that I've never used before. And it was fantastic.
That's great. Yeah. Were there any specific features that kind of stood out, or was it just as a package quite good overall?
Yeah, look, I mean, from a golf specific point of view, the ability to just track your shots, your distance, your clubs, your fairways missed, all the statistical stuff was really fantastic. But for me, in my role and the work that I do with my clients, being able to have the access to a breathing app was fantastic as well. So a lot of the stuff I do with my clients pre-round is around just monitoring their breathing, getting access to their breathing to help manage their heart rate, especially for sort of pre-round for big tournaments. So, something like that really stood out to me as a point of value for not only myself, but for clients as well. But, there were just so many little things that I noticed about the watch that was fantastic. Just that it was usable with a glove. So when you're swiping up and down the screen, you didn't have to take your glove off to be able to do that. You could actually use your glove, which was really great, because I imagine a lot of other pieces don't have that accessibility. You've got to be able to use your finger or use your skin, and just the little thing, the 18 holes around the bezel, just every time you went to a hole, the color code would move around the screen, and your bezel's got 18 numbers on it, which obviously relates to the number of holes on a golf course. And so, it was a really well thought out design, but also from a usability point of view, completely on mark, and was fantastic to use. Without a doubt, that analysis, that data on how many putts you're having per round, or what percentage of fairways do you miss left or right, those sort of things. But as well as if you apply the exercise component to the watch, where you're starting an exercise session, so you can actually press start at the start of a round. You can monitor all of those physiological components to performance, stress and anxiety, heart rate, and you can link that with your round of golf. So I suppose not only my clients can take that performance analysis to their swing coach and say, these are some of my patterns of performance, they can also bring some of the exercise component to me and show me, what their heart rate's doing during a round of golf. And that just helps us to isolate what type of situations during a round of golf, take them out of their sort of peak performance state, or take them out of being comfortable. And I think there's, a large variety of tools that we can use as coaches to help improve our clients' golf game.
Were there any kind of non-golf features that you enjoyed, or was it all about the game?
Yeah, no, look, I mean, the watch itself, like even, right now I love the fact that you can change the dials, and you've got the Carrera, the traditional sort of Carrera chrono, but inside each chrono, you can change what information is inside each chrono. So I have a lot of clients based in the US, so I'm a big fan of any of the GMT type of watches. So being able to have that in one of the chrono dials, another time zone for LA, for example, is just fantastic. And then having, my appointments, my notes, my calendar in another one, the weather, or like that, to me was a really cool feature as well. It's really nice and light. It's quite a bulky watch, but for playing golf, you don't notice that. Then it doesn't get in the way one bit, but it really does stand out and jump out at you. I had, a number of comments today on it as I was walking around. Just, the guys wanted to know what it was, because it just really stood out. And, once it goes into that battery save mode where the screen goes a little bit darker, it just looks like a normal watch, and you tap it and then, the hole comes up. So, I mean, I've never used, I'm more of a traditional sort of watch enthusiast and never used a smartwatch, but what TAG have done with this Golf Edition watch is certainly something that I can see being, very, very popular amongst traditional watch wearers that are golf nuts as well.
Thank you very much for your time, Jamie. It's been fantastic chatting and fantastic hearing about your experience. Speak soon and keep well.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
No worries.
As we've heard from Jamie, the TAG Heuer Connected Golf Edition is a genuinely useful tool, not only while you're out on the course, but for analysing your play afterwards, and even providing useful data to your golf coach. From tracking your strokes on the green to yardages per hole in varying weather conditions, this latest smartwatch from TAG Heuer has you pretty well covered to understand what you're doing when you've got a club in your hands. Now to pricing and availability of the TAG Heuer Connected Golf Edition. The TAG Heuer Connected Golf Edition has an Australian recommended retail price of $3,700 and comes in a special pack with 3 Titleist TAG Heuer golf balls and tees. It is currently available both online and in TAG Heuer boutiques. If you like this video, don't forget to give it the thumbs up and subscribe to Time+Tide. Thanks for watching.